Hey guys, how y'all doing? My name is B. Frank, and this is the GCL podcast. We are here at M Studio in Fort Myers, Southwest Florida. To my left, we have the phenomenal Marco, aka M.A. Yep, pop, pop, pop. Next to him, we have the man of many talents, very gifted, handsome also. Got to throw that in there. Snap. My man, Ariel V. And we will be hosting this. Shout out to all the team that's bringing this together, Cody doing sound, and just the whole GCL movement. And together, we are super excited about this edition of the GCL podcast because we have powerhouse women, beings in the house right now. Powerhouse beings right now. Snap. So to my right, we have Shari Armstrong.
Hi, everyone.
She's amazing. We also have Bianca Russel. Bianca, everybody. Bianca.
She's also amazing.
Also amazing.
Multi-talented.
Yes.
Multi-talented. So we got a lot of talent in the room. I find I need to get my life together. Everybody does a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I got to learn how to dance or something to catch up to you guys.
You do a lot of stuff too, man.
That's what they say. That's what they say. So our guest, I want to kind of get an opportunity to introduce them. I know a few things, the team, so we want to kind of join in on some of the things we know in research. Now, there's a photo that we're going to put up later on, possibly when we show this, of one of our guests, Miss Shari. I don't know if you guys probably not going to be able to catch this photo.
Okay that they can't
on this. Y'all might catch it. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We're trying to delete it.
We'll see. And then Shari is known as a journalist to most. And an anchor, actually, an anchor.
An anchor's a journalist, so it's all good.
Yeah, but anchor just sounds like...
Anchor sound like money.
Money, right?
I mean, it sound like it.
But...
Sorry, okay, sorry. I said I was going to behave. Shout out to my boss who's probably going to find this online.
So you are an anchor, journalist, community leader, and you are also a poet, because I have proof that Shari has done poetry at a GCL event. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, many moons ago.
Many.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. She said...
Short hair Shari.
Short hair Shari is what she said.
Short hair Shari, that's right.
So tell us a little bit about yourself outside of short hair Shari's poetic ambitions.
Yeah, well, I am all of those things, but I'm just somebody who loves this community, you know? Like, I was born in Connecticut, but I was raised here. This is where all the things happen. I went to Evangelical Christian School down the street. I went to Quality Life Center, also down the street. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm from here. I worked at the Q, and I always thought I would never do this job, right? Like, the crazy thing is y'all brought us here. It feels like a setup, but it's not. We've known each other for years. I've honestly known Bianca since probably I was around in, like, elementary school.
I was definitely 4. I was 4 years old.
Yeah, y'all don't even know that.
No.
Maybe like 5, whatever. Okay.
What?
When you said that earlier about you knew each other, I thought you knew each other because of the scene or something.
No, like we've known each other for years. And what's connected us, ironically, is the arts, right? Because as you know, everybody will learn she's a dancer, but we've been on the come up, I would say, together, be our connection. And both of our families are from the Caribbean, so I just want to give a shout out to the Caribbean right now. Because we would attend family events together, like, you know, family parties and stuff like that as well. So yeah, like y'all don't even know that.
Y'all were playing tag while the grown-ups were like eating and like
but she was always like faster and like a better dancer. Like she's always better at all the things. Let me just put that out there. But yeah, so this is my community, and I'm just really proud. But like, you know, what's also dope is like full circle. Like, yeah, y'all saw short hair Shari on stage downtown when GCL was just really starting to pop at the time. Sure. And now look at GCL now. And full circle, we're sitting here able to reflect together. So I feel good. That's a little bit about me. What else do you want to know?
Everything.
Okay.
I need the last 4 of your social.
Yeah.
Maiden name.
The mother's maiden name.
How did we
Can I
meet?
get the street that you grew up on?
That's a great question.
We met because we went to the Q, or was it outside of the Q?
No. I met y'all at the Q.
Okay.
Bianca also worked at the Q too. Just FYI.
Around that same time?
Yes. See how the community is all connected, y'all.
That's great.
Yeah, we were working in arts together.
We started the arts department.
Quality Life Center. That's right.
Started the arts department there. That's something.
Say it loud, say it proud.
Oh, say it with your chest. Right. And and so when y'all came by, like, hey, this is what we're doing. And I was like, oh, okay, we heard it before. You know what I'm saying? For this community to have what y'all was trying to do, it was like, oh, okay, cool. And you were like, we're going to start doing this thing downtown. And the only reason why I stayed connected with y'all was because of Mr. Muhammad. Actually, remember Mr. Muhammad? There's these 2 young cats. I was like, brother, they don't even say cats anymore. But
And he still says cats. He still says.
Mr. Muhammad's fly enough to say.
He could say whatever he wants.
He said whatever he wants.
That's real.
I went to Mr. I always tell people the story. I went to Mr. Muhammad. He and I went to Mr. Muhammad asking him for, I guess, a favor. It wasn't a big favor. Like, hey, could you introduce us to this type of situation, right? And he hit us with like one of the this craziest metaphor parable type situation. He's like, the short version of it. He's like, if it was a man that needed a ride somewhere, and he was just standing there, would you give him a ride? And I'm like, I'm like, yeah, I've given people rides before, like driving down 82. I don't do that anymore because it got kind of weird. But I see somebody struggling. It's by the way. Yeah. But anyways, he said, but would you be more apt to give the man the ride if he was already walking in the direction of where he needed to go? I said, yeah, because he would already, whether I was going to help him or not, he was going to get there. I'm just a good guide. He was like, okay, brother.
Dan, you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that because since then I've been like, if I ask him for anything, I gotta already be doing it.
That's the point.
Basically,
That's
so
the
that
point.
was his whole point. I was like, all right, I respect it. Could have just said no. Could have just said no. So at the same time, we had our second guest at the same venue when we started this, Bianca Russel. Bianca is amazing, but one of the things I think is super dope about her is that where she goes, she's like she's a being that there's like so much life and energy and talent surrounding her. So she creates a pull like a comet going through space, and like there's like a trail of like dopeness behind her. So I'm looking for like a random artist to pop up just because she's here. And I used to say like, yo, you got a movement. Like I wish I had a movement like you. Like they connect, and she's really dope. And so we have a performer, a leader. She creates her own platform. She partakes in other platforms. She's an educator, choreographer, producer, all these different talents. Yo, Bianca Russel. Let's give it up for Bianca real quick. Let's give it up for Bianca real quick. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself? What do we not know? Tell us a little something.
There is really not much to me. Like, if we're being
It's
real,
my job to call out like things
No.
that are not true, and that is not true.
Truthfully, there isn't that much to me. I'm just a simple being, just being. I find things that I like to do, and I do them. And hopefully I encourage other people to do the same. So there isn't much to me. It's just a simple idea that seems like magnificent. I'm just being. Like, I'm having the courage to just be. And that's what you identify as this great thing is really just very simple, to me at least. It seems simple. But that's really all I am. I make art, and that's what I like to do. People ask me how I'm doing. I'm making art, minding my business, because that's what I love to do, you know?
I love listening to creatives, and through this process of GCL, like, there is a lot of depth to you, but you live it. It is your life. That to you, it's just life. You're moving. But so many people wish they had a little bit of that. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people wish they had that juice that you got. So, well, I mean, it's powerful.
I appreciate
But
it.
I appreciate I like your humility with it.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's deep.
Yeah.
And you've been doing it how long? How long you been an artist
I
in
think her
Southwest
whole
Florida?
life at this
Or
point.
an artist your entire life?
I feel like she came out the womb like that. Yo.
right.
Like,
Dancing.
That was art.
Right. That was art in itself.
Yeah, the active birth. No, it's been a while. Like I said, my family moved here when I was 4, and so it probably was like when I was 5 when we met. And I remember going to Color School of the Arts summer camp, and the thing for that particular summer camp was, who am I? Like, and they asked us who we wanted to be. At 4, I should know what I want to do with the rest of my life. But I said I wanted to be an artist, So I wanted to be an artist. And I did like a whole monologue with an easel, and it's just always been that. Like, I got in trouble for like painting on the walls way past an age that was unacceptable. It's just always been this. And so I'm grateful that I had people to like.
You still paint on the walls.
Well, look at that face.
I'm getting paid to do it.
I know that's right.
That's a flex. I'm getting paid.
That's a flex.
That's a flex right there. So what was the program that you said again that you?
Color School of the Arts. Color School of the
Is
Arts.
that in Fort Myers? Or?
It was in Fort Myers. It was in between Lehigh and Fort Myers for years. Like since I was 4 up until about 2012. And it was just an incredible community that nurtured my artistry in a way that not only helped the art, but also helped me see who I am as a person, and, you know, just engraved morals in me. And just like, I'm just grateful for that experience, that I was brought up that way, because it kept me out of some trouble for sure. So I'm grateful, super grateful.
The arts work. Do we have programs like that now? Like, is there what's the equivalent
Something
to that program?
to
right
that
now?
level? I don't know.
I would say Quality Life Center.
The Q.
Yeah,
For sure.
the Q, for sure.
Shout out to the Q.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that,
Holding it down.
you know, Colors is what Quality Life Center is too. They both were founded. Colors was founded by Sharon Henson.
Sharon Hill.
Hill.
No.
Woo, Lord. I used her pre-married name. Forgive me, Lord. Forgive me, Lord. Forgive me, Miss Sharon. I knew her a long time ago.
That's how I know people go way
Lord,
back.
Jesus, I'm sorry about that. That's going way back. Thank
That's
you.
right. There you go.
But anyway, like they both came here with the idea of like, we're gonna infuse arts in this community. This is our passion, and we're gonna reach youth.
Yeah.
And I think again, they blossomed at the same time. Colors, they worked together. We did those programs concurrently together, and they took off from there. And the Q now has a building. The Q expanded to, you know, other programs as well. They do science and all those other things too. But I think the equivalent of that now is the Q, and there are other programs in the community. Like, let's be real, there are a lot of people that are doing great things in the community too, using arts to impact children. But at the time, Colors was where it was, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Is there a difference, like do you guys think there's a difference in like the art scene and the art community than there is now? Like, is you being around, because we talk about these throwback people that we know in relationships and movements. Okay, cool. So you've seen the legacy play out. Do y'all think there's been changes, or is it pretty consistent? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
I think that that's part of the reason that I stick around, is because I'm interested in seeing the growth of the community. Because when we first moved here, when I was 5, there wasn't that much. There was just Colors, for me at least, as far as what I knew. And just to, like, you know, there's events happening almost every day of the week, and that's incredible. There was nothing like that. There was nothing like that. There was nothing. We used to go to Walmart for fun. Like, that was the fun thing. We go to Walmart.
That Lehigh life, baby.
Yes, that was the fun thing to do. We'd go to Walmart or the library, and that was it. So there wasn't much for us to do as far as like community art events. Not really. So I think that it's grown incredibly, like, and it's amazing.
And and you said earlier it kept you out of trouble. Marco and I don't know if you recall, but there was a point, we go way back as well. There was a point where we would hang out in front of Bell Tower.
You
and do nothing.
You mean just stand right?
Just do nothing.
Just stand there.
We would be in front of the movie.
I
We would
never
walk.
understood
We
that.
would walk.
I got down, when I moved down from Chicago, all the kids would go to the movies. I was excited. I'm like, yo, we're going to go to the movies. We're going to watch this movie. I got my money ready. I pull up, I get my ticket, you know, and I get my ticket, and I'm like, yo, my boys gonna get the ticket too. And I turn around and they're looking at me, I'm like, yo, what y'all doing? Like, I got my ticket. Where y'all at? It's like, no, we don't even have money for the movie. Like,
Yeah.
hold up, what we doing here?
I recall.
It's like, no, we just come and hang out outside, and it's like, wait,
That's real.
what?
I recall looking
In
for
Chicago,
coins
you
one
don't
time,
hang out
like trying to
outside,
like,
you know,
know what was
people get shot out there.
people get shot outside.
So we don't really hang out outside.
Well, shout out for the Fort Myers Police
real.
Department in Lee County for making it not
They used to be mad fights out there.
fights at Bell Tower.
They used to pop off. Do at least
Yeah,
there was-
everybody used to go fight at the movies. That was the thing. I don't know.
Nah,
Even
I
in
don't
Cape
know.
Coral, that's how it used to be.
I was in my own
I
bubble.
definitely
Bubble.
remember
Bubble.
Cape Coral.
Pro
Yeah,
Walmart,
that's real.
Pro Walmart. It's
Lehigh had
pretty.
that movie
So
theater, too.
these arts Lehigh, yeah.
Hold on. It might have only been able to hold 12 people, but we still had a movie theater, and what you're
That
not going to
counts.
do is side
I didn't even
eye.
know that. That's real.
Thank
Y'all
you.
didn't have like that.
We grew up in Lehigh.
Oh, that's real.
It's a church now.
She
y'all.
was serious when she said people hung out in Walmart.
The
That's
movie
real.
theater is a church now.
Oh my god. Well, when I came,
Back in my day, it was a movie theater.
Oh my goodness.
The Sunday matinee turned to Sunday mass, you know?
Wow.
Oh my god.
The movie theater became
That
a church.
native man.
Lehigh,
You know what?
Lehigh. I love.
I like
love
Lehigh. I want to just say that out there. You know what I mean? 'Cause
You,
got
you're not
land.
ashamed.
No, I'm not ashamed. Thank
got
you.
wild
That's right. No.
No,
All the
I
break-ins.
appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you saying that so much, because people always coming for Lehigh, you know. And
hard, yo.
unfortunately, you know, like a lot of the news stories that run take place in Lehigh, right?
Still?
That's just real. Okay, Marco.
Okay, so that's the problem when you only stream stuff. I don't watch local news.
That's okay. That's okay.
No. For the record, we do watch local news, and we watch the one that Shari's on.
What's the one that I'm on?
Only that one.
Oh, yay! Appreciate y'all.
For the record, I was nervous he was going to drop it. I was like,
Are you still asking what time? No, we got past this.
Right.
got past
It
it.
This is
doesn't
the only
matter.
one we watch.
Yeah, right.
The only one.
So stuff still happens in Lehigh. Okay.
I mean, but here's the thing, like, things happen everywhere, right?
Exactly.
But the reality of it is like there are very positive things that happen in Lehigh too. We both grew up in Lehigh, and I just always try to say like, Lehigh's dope. You know, I know people don't think that, and it's not Chicago or it's not Fort Myers.
It's LA.
It's
LA.
LA. It is
It's
LA.
LA. Hey,
But
LA.
you know what? Lehigh is family. Like, that's the thing about it. So, like, yeah, we didn't have all these spots, but if you knew such and such's house was popping on Christmas Eve with the dance hall and the soca music, like, you would be there, you know? So, it's a different life out there.
It
if
is.
Southwest Florida was like, every city was like a family, Lehigh is the cousin that I mess with sometimes and make fun of, but I'm not gonna let no one else out the family talk about. Like, what'd you say? What'd you say about Lehigh, bro? You're not even from here. What are you talking about? Like, yo,
Sit right there.
but at the same time, I'm like, yo, man, who invited? Who invited? I'm joking. I'm gonna be doing mad events in Lehigh soon. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is, though. You know what
It's
it
been in Lehigh for like a decade now, so it's cool, man. You know, we like the land.
Yeah, you've been in Lehigh.
We
for a
like
long
the
time.
land. We got land for days.
You know what? I got no problem with Lehigh except for like the traffic.
distance.
It's the traffic, the distance, the vehicle part of it. I would rather drive to Miami sometimes. I was like, you know what? I must just go to Miami. Like at this point, I don't want. Anyways,
Just avoid Lehigh altogether.
Wow.
all right, so we have community leaders who've been here for a while, and creatives, people who are creative and support the creative movement in Southwest Florida, as well as a poet. We're gonna get some bars from you later. I know you got them memorized. When I'm alone in my room, I hear my conscience. None of that. So we've seen things grow, and a lot of things happen in Southwest Florida. Yeah. Now, on another side of things, outside the art movement, there's a lot of activity in Southwest Florida all the time. And anytime there's something like nationally, politically going on or culturally going on, Southwest Florida is always right there, ready to jump up and say something, to be present. If you remember the Occupy movement and like 99 and all that type of stuff, I mean, it was marches for days and Black Lives Matter and just, I mean, you name it, you know. So we're always charged. Why do you think an area like ours that can be kind of, like I said, we have a movie theater that got turned into a church. So we're believe it or not, we are like a small town to some people. When Chicago come in the building, they go, oh my goodness. Like when you say something that's down the street, it's always 20 minutes away from us, right? But we're always right on board with things. And not just the city, but even the art community. Like there's murals dedicated to it and paintings and all of that. So why do you think that we always seem to be the one of the, like always active when it comes to these type of things? Like why we're always involved in the mix, Southwest Florida?
I think it's a representation of where we are, right? Like, yes, people still see us as a small town, and there are small towns in Southwest Florida, but a lot of people have moved here, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people from different beliefs live in Southwest Florida, and a lot of people, you know, we gonna shout out Gen Z, because that group of people, those younger people, I hate to use those terms, but because it means you're getting older, but it's true, you know, they don't play, you know, they make their voices heard. Yeah. Those people are still here. Southwest Florida used to be a place where it was like, you get older, you get the heck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like people decide to stay here, whether it's for a job, for family, for the arts, whatever, and they have beliefs too. They're just as charged up as the people in New York or Chicago, and they make their voices heard. I literally just covered, you know, Roe versus Wade just happened about a week ago now, you know, and downtown, I was live downtown for our shows, and I asked the organizers, I said, how many people are you expecting to be out here? And they told me like 20, maybe 50. I'm trying to tell you, there were hundreds of people in downtown Fort Myers, and there were people who were in support of what those people were doing, and then there were people who were anti-protesters. So you also have people from both sides. That representation is profound. We did see it during Black Lives Matter. We're seeing it right now, and I think it's a testament to how much this place has grown, and it's multi-generational as well. So when people are like, oh, you know, only old people live here, that's not true. We here, and we're making our voices heard, and we're planting seeds here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
well
I know a lot of us,
Thanks,
as far
Marco.
as there's a lot of people in our generation try to leave,
Right.
but we all came back.
Did y'all try to leave?
I didn't try.
I haven't yet.
I didn't try. I left.
Okay, when I say try, I mean
came back.
He
They
came
left.
back. Yeah,
Circle
I
back.
left.
No, but you left for like a year or two.
I left for like.
Well, the whole reason GCL started is because Brian left, got to see like Tampa and got to see a bigger city, got to see a bigger area, and ultimately had family here. But cared about the area, had some grasp of it, and came back. I like to say he came back for me, but it wasn't true.
What would I do without my Marco?
That's true.
Were you gonna keep going? Or?
No, I don't want to,
okay.
because then there's a lot of babies. And
Right. Okay.
Once you say it, you can't go back.
Right. That's real.
His
I do
wife,
got my street
His
cred.
wife asks us sometimes, we'll like have a meeting and hang out, and then we'll like call each other afterward, and when he's on his way home for some reason, and we'll talk for like another 20, 30 minutes.
That's so sweet.
And he gets home, and his wife's like, "You were just with him." And I'm like, we have to talk about what we did talk about in the meeting on the way there.
Best friends forever.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's giving besties.
But she used to never say this, but it's coming up recently, so I'm like, oh man, maybe I don't know. But anyways, it's not gonna stop. I'm sorry.
It's not
We
gonna
need
stop.
y'all to stay connected.
Yeah,
We
you
need
know.
y'all on that energy.
No,
Listen,
we're all
Sarah,
pretty plugged in. At this point, our kids play together
Wow.
and
I love it.
and sneeze on stuff and touch it, and they're just disgusting. And Marco doesn't have any kids, but his dog is here, and we enjoy Kiko, and shout out to Kiko.
Yeah.
So like we're all meshed together. So our roots are here,
Mm-hmm.
right? So even when I see people all the time, I'm going to move to Atlanta. I'm going to move to L.A., New York, or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be on some. You'll be back.
Gee, every single place you just mentioned, I went to. Every single place. I'm like low-key embarrassed, but I'm not because I want somebody else to hear this.
No, because you know what it is? It's really, you got to see perspective.
Woo, say that.
That's really what it is, like the ability to be able to, either if you're from somewhere else and come in, or from here and go out, you know what I mean? And you're able to see something and bring it back. Because the potential is here, it does lie here.
Yes.
Because if not, Ford or Edison, those guys wouldn't be here, you know what I mean? Like there's the McGregors, all those people that came down, like there's a reason why they're here, so that there is an energy to it. And like, I think at this point it's more diverse, because this wasn't a diverse city at all at some point, but they saw the magic, and we're not going nowhere.
No, we're not.
Do you guys ever feel like frustrated? Like I feel like we're having a transparent conversation. So I want to say this. Like I get charged. I just came back from Nashville. I don't know if y'all ever been to Nashville.
Negative.
Yeah, no.
Tell us of your journey.
Don't raise your eyebrow like
No,
that.
I'm just
Brian.
telling you.
It was a lot of
what's
fun.
going on in Nashville. I just want to know what's
It was a
going on.
vibe,
Yeah, I didn't
country
get invited.
music, central, and it was all of that. Yes, your girl was in the front.
Yeah.
I learned West Virginia. Okay, anyway. But the point is, thank you.
To a place.
Wow.
I belong. Thank you, fam.
I've never felt so alone.
And I never felt more judged. 'Cause you raised my eyebrow real high.
I didn't raise my. I was just more like tell more. Yeah,
Okay.
So that was that you misread. Anyway, so continue.
All right. So anyway, like I go to places like that and I feel charged, whether it's Nashville, LA, Atlanta, wherever, I'm like, I feel good. And then sometimes, on a Friday evening or whatever, when I'm here and I'm so proud of the arts and the way that they've grown. I can't even believe a building like this exists in Southwest Florida,
Thank you.
Yes, fire. If you haven't been here, it is, even just pulling up, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this is this. So it's powerful for us. But I remember, there have been nights, like Friday night, Saturday night, where I'm like, I want that same charge. And sometimes it's frustrating because, it's not always there.
Yeah.
Or the energy is different, right? Like, you can walk into certain places. You can walk in and out of spots in New York or wherever you are. It doesn't have to be Charlotte, like whatever. And there's a certain energy and a certain vibe. And you don't always catch that if you go to certain places here, even though the art scene is growing. So I just wanted to share that because I think, like, that's my truth, even like coming back here.
I have a perspective. Does anybody want to answer that?
I agree. I've left so many times. New York, Vegas, even like on the other coast of Florida. And I can agree with that. Like I always come back because this does feel like home to me. But I know when I leave, even if it's just for work for a weekend or two and come back, that there's that charge there that it does feel like it's missing. I don't know why per se, but
It's on the come up, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like the feeling
Yeah,
we get when we go to those places and we get charged is like, ooh, how can I? It's like putting lightning in a bottle. It's like, how can I bring this back?
right.
to whether show your friends, show
Yeah.
the scene, show whatever. And
Yes.
it's like even when you come back, like your gears are already spinning
Yes.
of like, ooh, how we can
Yes.
make it ours. And it's like some people have left and haven't come back, you know? That's just
real.
what the
Yeah.
journey
Yeah.
that's just what the journey was. Some people came back, but they came back with that idea or that urge or desire to, it's like, yo, they don't have this back home. Why can't we have this back home?
Like Brian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in the crazy, it's I'll say this: if you look at things as simple as like a Wawa's or a Farmer's Joe, right? How we lose our mind when something from our hometowns come
Yes.
here, right? And we all support it. And then really that is an example of if you feel the spark missing, a lot of times it's your job to create the spark here.
Yeah.
Right.
Now the hardest part is to maintain it until they see enough people see it and come. You're like, man, I really wish y'all got it. And you usually have to keep, chugging along. So we have great artists like yourself, Bianca, who've been doing it for a while. And if it's okay with you guys, I'd like to go into seeing Bianca perform if possible. I'd like to see this get down, get in. You know what I'm saying? So we have a very talented individual, and that's something we want to do. We want y'all to hear
Yes.
the vibes.
The fire.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. So y'all ready? Y'all
Yes,
ready to transition
please.
into
We're gonna
that?
transition
Bless
to
us.
this
Just
new
be.
segment going on in the GCL podcast. We're super excited. I just want to say that. Ooh. The first of many. First of many.
What's the money? All right, let's go. Y'all ready?
My name is Bianca J. Russell, but you can call me JustBee. Do you remember our first kiss? I do, and how soft those lips. I remember thinking I knew it'd feel like this. I knew it would feel like this. I can still feel the imprint from where you laid that forehead kiss. It tingles sometimes when you cross my mind. There's magic in the surface of those lips, some type of electromagnetic kind of bliss, sparking my heart in time too. At least twice of its normal timing, oversmitten by your test. I watch it beat right out my chest, right out my chest, right out my chest. I remember our first kiss, and I remember all the moments leading up to it. I hoped for it. Someone please tell me why they flutter so. It feels like my butterflies still do the most. It's what you do. Oh, there's magic in the surface of those lips. There's magic in the surface of those lips. Ooh, there's magic in the surface of those lips. There's magic in the surface of those lips. There's magic in the surface of those lips, some type of electromagnetic kind of bliss, sparking my heart in time too. At least twice of its normal timing, oversmitten by your test. I watch it beat right out my chest, right out my chest. Ooh, right out my chest, right out my chest. Ooh, right out my chest. Those lips. That song is called Those Lips.
Okay, those lips.
This one is called Timekeeper.
I wrote songs about you that I would sing in silence. It echoed in my chest cave, rattled inside my sinus, bounced up and down my spine, dipped in and out my mind. No longer could be silent, no longer could be silent. A river runs right through me, throw chakra open somehow. I'm saying what I need, and I'm needing you right now. I'll scream it from the mountains, I waited long enough. Tomorrow isn't promised, ain't got no time to find. Time keeps tipping, time keeps slipping. It's out my hands, yo, what really is it? If I lost my wristwatch, would I wait a minute to say I love you and really mean it? I do, I do, I do. I'll give you flowers while you have the chance to smell them, inhale. It's due. 'Cause I would hate to be too late with the affection I give to you. Because the words unsaid can never mean a feeling unfelt, that's rude. I'm not gonna wait another second, I'm gonna express my truth. Because time will slip through your hands like warm sand unless you own it. Take charge of you now, the next day ain't assigned yet. Get lost in the hype of the night, say I love you before time runs on and God's fate fall upon you. Time keeps tipping, time keeps slipping. It's out my hands, yo, what really is it? If I lost my wristwatch, would I wait a minute to say I love you and really mean it? I do. Slipping away, zipping away, slipping away, and really mean it. I do.
Okay.
All right.
And this last one is called Rain Again. They be like, oh, be so sweet, while dipping inside my honey. And they taking up all they can eat. And they wondering why they get sting. They wondering why they get sting. 'Cause they take up my kindness for weakness. If it's one thing I don't need, it's that brand naked lifestyle you lead me in. Don't do it. No, 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 no. Don't take my, don't do it. No, 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 no. Don't take my kindness for weakness. No, 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 no. Don't take my, don't do it. No, 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 no. It might be my name, this beat ain't just, they call me queen too, so respect my name, dude. My crown around and it look like halo, but don't mistake though, the force of nature that come like JustBee, but serve like a queen. If I find it worth it, you're down in just one prick, but they're not like me, I'm pollination, but all this honey here ain't for the taking. Don't do it, no, 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 no. Don't take my, don't do it. No, 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 don't take my kindness for weakness. No, 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 no. Don't take my, don't do it. No, 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 no. Don't do it. Da, da, da. Da, ba, ba, da, 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 da. Da, 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 ba, da, ba, da, ba, da, ba, da, ba, da, da. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't take my no, 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 no. Thank you again. My name is Bianca J. Russel, but you can call me JustBee.
How can they find you?
You can find me at www.justbee.xyz.
Hey. All right, so So we are back with the GCL podcast right now at the table. The energy is real, man. I don't know if it was the caffeine or just the energy from JustBee, but I'm charged right now. I'm charged, man. Can we make walking around with honey like a thing?
I like the holster.
The holster.
Right.
My thing is the holster.
I thought she had she pulls it out to the front with the song. It is honey.
It is.
Oh, you didn't see it? No, I didn't see it.
Quality,
She took a shot of honey before she performed. That's
Good.
not real.
I didn't see it. I just thought it was like, oh, she got a little
I want
holster for a
JustBee
bottle. No, it's honey.
holster. I want to purchase. First of all, because my name be Frank, so it just works. But I'm just saying, like, I want a JustBee holster for my honey.
Yeah, you know, I get tired of holding things, so I'm just like.
You said that.
I really don't like holding things. So I don't go to the bar and hold a drink. I'm going to take a shot, and that's gonna be it. I'm not holding anything. But this is convenient.
This is convenient. No, I got you. She said my hands are always free. What's up? Where is up?
1 and 2 right now.
Jab, shot. Hold on. We're good. So let's talk about the music, man. What y'all think? What's it?
I love the fact that, you know, we say, hey, you have this amount of time, and you were like, I have a show mix. I have these songs already kind of mixed in and flowing, you know, like, your level of professional. Because how long ago did we meet? It's like 4 years ago, 5 years ago? 4 or 5 years ago. So what point were you there in your artistry?
I mean, I've been a long way in my artistry in general, but as far as making music, I was a baby. I've always, you know.
Because we met you as a visual artist, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I met her. And then, like with me, since I do video, I get a little bougie when I watch movies, and I'm like, let me see what you got to like. And if it doesn't like surprise me, I don't even want to watch it. I'm all judgy. So when I met her, it was like I saw the visual art, and I'm like, yo, she's dope. Yeah. She does this, and then I come back another show, and she's dancing, and she's good, and I'm just like, wait, what? I thought she was a painter, now she's dancing, and then I heard her sing, and I was like, yo, it's a rap.
Right.
It's a rap.
She
And you want to know origin? You want to know origin story?
Unfair.
So I performed with my partner JB at SMP. It was one of the first times we performed that JB was down here, and just how funny things are. Like the whole crowd was like big eye, like wow at our performance. Mm-hmm. And the takeaway was that there was this one person that I kept looking at in the back that wasn't paying attention. And they were just looking down the entire time. And I'm just like, yo, what is so important that they're not paying attention to us? And she's just like this away, like I'm like, it's getting to me. You know what I'm saying? And it was Bianca. It was Bianca in the back. And I was like, you know what? Like, I guess we weren't that good because like, just one person.
Right.
One person was paying attention out of the whole crowd, like, wow. And then fast forward a couple months after, I actually go to, it was her birthday party at the dance studio.
Yeah.
And I show up, you know, just show love and everything. And she's like, I got a gift. Because I bought a gift, and she's like, I got a gift for you. I'm like, wait, what? I was like, okay. So she brings out a sketch that she had done from that night. And that's the reason why she wasn't paying attention, because she was so in the music that she drew a sketch of me and JB, and I was just like mind blown.
That's why she don't like stuff in her hand.
It was like
Right.
You never know.
Wow,
yo, to the point
crazy.
that sketch by itself became the album cover
Wow.
for our album. Because
oh my God! Wow.
I was like, the one person that I remember that wasn't paying attention was the one that was paying the most attention to the fact that she even drew that, and I was just like, wow.
So Bianca has the gift of being not only creative but being just, you know, JustBee. She's dialed in. You know, so and that's amazing. It's the authentic part. You know, in the first half we were talking about that you just keeping it simple, and the word that kept coming in my head is authentic. And maybe that's why so many people are drawn to you, because it's hard to be authentic right now. The culture is not set up to be super authentic. So when you just be, seeing that it's just like, what? Oh my goodness! Like somebody just. Are you being you right now? Can I be near you being you?
Yo, could you explain the tracks? Like,
Yeah.
Kind of take us to the first to end. You know, like what's the journey?
The first track was a song I wrote called Lips, and I'm just like a hopeless romantic. And I think it was a writing prompt. sometimes I'll do like just writing prompts. My niece bought me this book. It was like 365 things to write about. And for 365 days, I didn't touch it. And then I opened it finally, and my first prompt wasn't any of the songs I performed today, but my second prompt was explain what your first kiss feels like. And I was like, do you even remember? And so it just brought me back, and it was just a moment of reminiscing and just, making a piece of art about what that feels like, what love feels like, what that first kiss feels like. So that's what that one was about. And I originally wrote it to a different beat, but now I'm like exploring as a producer as well. So I did create the production on that beat. What is the second?
Yo, shout out to that.
Another topic.
No, because come on, it's been a struggle for me.
She's like, I'm passing the ball to myself, then shoot it.
I'm gonna do it myself.
I alley-oop it to myself and dunk it still.
Bianca on the pass. Bianca on the reception.
The credits are rolling up. Everything is just Bianca. Sound. First person. Second person.
I don't know what the grip is when I see movies, but Bianca's the grip. The keep us like, yo,
the VP, everything.
They did like the side effects, side effects.
Wardrobe,
caterer.
She
even did the casting, and she did the cast.
She casting manager. Alright, so the second jam, what are we talking about?
Second jam was called Timekeeper, and it's really just about being in the moment, being present. Because I feel like sometimes we hold back, especially with the use of the word love, because to me, what love means to me may not be the same as what it means to you, but what I do know is that I do, as I love each and every one of you. And for me to not say it and then something happen in the next 10 seconds, because that happens. We don't know what's going to happen when we leave this place, and time can run out just like that. So I think it's really important that we're expressing what we feel to people. Like, it's important to me that I'm saying I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. So that's really what that one was about.
I took away from that line that you said that I want to give you flowers where you can still smell it.
Yeah, it's important.
That's exactly that. Yeah.
It's important because time will slip right from you. And then the last song, Brannigan, was just kind of because I'm aware that I'm a sweet person. I'm nice. But some people do take advantage of that, and so I just want to talk about shit for a second. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you did.
You did.
You came out the gate. We all were like, hold up.
You know what the hip hop hands? The hip hop hands show up. When the hip hop hands show up, it's different. See, when you sing it, it's sweet. It's but when the hip hop hands come up, it's like because when you're doing it, you're just serving bars. So you get a bar. You get a bar. I was like, oh snap.
Yes.
Don't try, Bianca. She gonna serve them. That's cool. That's dope, man. So all right. So as far as musically, where are you as the musical artist right now?
As if I'm being real, as the musical artist, what I'm doing right now is exploring and figuring out ways to merge all of my disciplines. So I am a theater kid as well. Like, I'm all about show tunes. So I'm trying to create this version of my work that just blends into each other. There's a storyline, the art influences the music influences what's happening on stage, the light design, all of that really should come together. So that's really what I'm working on as far as my music goes. But I still feel like I'm just, such a baby because I have like a couple tracks out, you know what I mean? But it's just, trusting the process, enjoying the journey, and just, being and doing it. So that's the plan.
I've been wanting to, I'm sorry to interrupt. I've been wanting to produce a one-man show or a one-woman show, one-person show where like it is, do you know familiar with John Leguizamo?
No.
He is a Colombian, he did Mario.
He was the voice of
He did a few things. He's recently
from Ice Age.
Yes.
Manny, no, not Manny.
Sid.
Sid. Thank you. Yeah.
So he started off. He's from New York and stuff like that. And he was one of the first Latino artists and stuff like that to get out there and do his thing. But he would do these one-man shows, and that's really what he became famous for.
Yeah.
And it'd be like a whole set. He would change characters, names, like just the backgrounds would move a little bit. But it'd be simple. I've been wanting to do something like that. Yeah, if you want to do something like that, we should.
Let's do it.
So he just solicits you for work and on camera. You did say yeah though at one time.
Right.
You did a
great
Timestamp it.
That was so different from what you did to me, though.
How
He
so?
invited me to the show.
Yeah.
So he invited me to the show. Just come check out the show.
This happens when you're producing.
Just come check out the show. So in front of the crowd, he brings me on stage, and I'm like, oh, I thought I was just chilling. He brings me on to be like, so, are you gonna be our videographer?
Come on with the ass.
I did that.
Are you gonna take the position in front of everybody? So I'm like,
did I do that? Nah, that was
so
Brian.
my people's going in contact with your
I know
people's.
that's right.
That was another Brian.
Have you guys seen that kind of
That was short hair Brian.
That was short hair Brian. It was hairline Brian. It was hairline Brian. Hairline Brian. Yeah, hairline Brian was scandalous. He knew any.
Yeah, I remember Afro Brian.
Afro Brian.
There was an Afro
There was an
Brian.
Afro
Oh,
Brian.
there was even a high top Brian.
No! Stop right
It was a
now.
dress, Brian.
Shut
Not dress. I had plaits, like
Yeah, okay.
Chris Cross plaits. So,
Right.
but you know, I did that.
Let's be real. I never went that far.
I never went that.
I only knew hairline Brian for a brief
Hairline Brian.
moment.
Hairline,
Yeah.
brief moment.
Yeah.
I just remember Brian.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the music. so speaking of stage, didn't you have something at the Lions for the Arts? You had a whole you and some collaborator. Yeah, collab. You've held. What was your role in that? And what was the name of it again?
It was the play was called Ophelia.
Yes.
And I produced that with Judah Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And
King Judah.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
No, I meant like,
It was wild.
yeah, no, like
It was a while back.
inspired.
It was a while back.
Oh, that's
Let's
right.
go.
I didn't think that.
How long ago was that?
that was, I want to say like 2013-ish, around
Okay,
that
okay.
time. I want to say it was around that time.
With Judah.
Yeah.
Those photos that you guys did were amazing.
Fire.
The one with your dreads
Oh
this
my
way.
God.
and
That's
it's
why
like,
I reacted like
that's
that.
right. It's like, yo,
Yes.
that is like, oh
Sick.
my god.
Yeah, he did have, he wasn't supposed to be in it, but we had to put him into the show like a couple days before. So
That
he
dude
did.
is like the hood, like.
I like him though.
Like he's like a.
Cause he hood,
Yeah,
but he's
but-
creative,
Yeah,
and I
for
love
Yo,
it.
he
For sure.
is.
I met him at we did a reality show here, and that never came out, and we
That was a
followed
part of it.
all
That I'm actually grateful. It's all ego. It's all ego. I'm grateful it didn't come out because the person who's producing that show was behind stage at Ophelia, and everything was going wrong during that show. There was like
my God.
lightning hit the theater the
Oh my
night before,
God.
sound was off. There was like no left. And like all the poetry of the show existed through that left stream of the speaker. So y'all really missed half the show if you
Wow.
went.
That's
So
real.
like
That happens though, man.
I was backstage crying, doing the ugly cry. So I'm really,
A little bit of snot.
I was like, I didn't. But overall,
That's real life.
it was a great experience. Like I was a choreographer. I was the lead
Here we
actress.
go. Here
I
we go.
wrote a great portion of the show, and yeah.
Yo, shout outs to that.
That's powerful.
Golly, man, listen. So if you were talking to a young creative right now, even younger, because we're all pretty young ourselves. Shout out for that. Well, we're talking to that teenager who was trying to figure out how they want to express themselves. What type of advice do you give? Like, because a lot of times it may feel like they don't know what to do with that. I have something, I don't know what to do with it. But it seems like you lean forward into things. Like you're trying all these different things. Unless it's some outside force you're not telling us, it seems very like, hey, I want to draw, I want to paint, I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna do murals, I'm gonna do murals. So like what advice do you give to activate that in a young person?
I think once the willingness is there, like once you say I want to do this, then it's really just a matter of discipline, because I think that anybody can do anything. You can art. Like being a visual artist is literally a matter of practice. The more you do it, the better you get. And I will stand on that in literally every art form. So it's just a matter of leaning into it, saying I wanted to do it, commit to the discipline of doing it, even if you suck at first, which is the part where everyone gets frustrated. I'm like, okay, this isn't looking good. Maybe I'm not into drawing. Maybe it's not for me. But really, if you keep going, it gets better. Practice makes better.
Right.
Practice always makes better. And then the next thing I would say is just show up. Just show up. Show up to the events. Show up to support your people. Network. Like create a real community, because that's what's missing. Like we want to be this, and that, but you have to do the work. You have to show up. meet people, be seen
Be
in your element. Like, don't be afraid to dance down the grocery aisle because someone's in the grocery aisle and they're gonna see it, and maybe they're like someone, you know. So not being afraid to just be is really the main principle. Don't be scared. And even if you are scared, just do it.
Just do it.
Can I ask her a question?
Go on. Okay, go for it.
And it really is for all of you guys, but you mentioned like, what would you say to young kids who are talented and everything like that? What do you say to those kids who are like, I could never make money doing whatever my art form is? What do you say to people like that? There was a point where you felt like you had to have a real job, a quote unquote real job.
I still feel like that. I still feel like that sometimes. No, I would say it's possible, but I wouldn't sugarcoat it. It's not easy. I mean, it's not easy for sure. Because for me, like, having the job, it stands in the way of what my purpose is. So I know my mission and my vision. I know what I'm trying to do with my life and with my artistry, and that is to inspire peace, love, and healing, right? So anything else that I'm doing is, to me, feels like a distraction.
Wow.
So if the job is working at a grocery store or at McDonald's, that's not in alignment with what I'm supposed to be doing. Sometimes I'll get like a little side job at a coffee shop. To me, serving someone a cup of tea or a cup of coffee is therapeutic. So it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me to do that. But it doesn't make sense to me to work at McDonald's where I know that they're poisoning us. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to me. So if you're trying to do it, you kind of just have to lean into it and really do it, like commit to doing it, because it's possible. It's just not easy. I'm making enough. I'm grateful. The bills are getting paid. I'd love to be, somewhere else, so I have a little savings or something I could do. But I'm grateful that I'm able to pay my bills every month. That's a blessing off of what I love, off of what I love doing.
That's
so
right.
That's beautiful. A lot of artists can, and I hear you at that point. But something you were gonna say?
I was just gonna double back once you said it's possible, but it's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
It's possible, but it's not easy.
And I will always leave with that. I'll be like, this what you're trying to do is not gonna be
we've had the honor of being around a lot of dope individuals, and when we find the artists who are financially comfortable where they are and they're doing it off their art form. Some of the key takeaways is that word that you said in the beginning, the discipline, when you said to the young people. So it takes discipline to start, but it also takes a certain level of discipline to move it to every level is going to require a different version of the big D word, discipline.
For sure.
And so it's important when you're at a level to honor that level, but understand to get to the next level is going to be a different version when you get there. So it's like, okay, I am on, I'm at a JV level. Okay, I'm great. I'm going to enjoy JV. But I kind of want to, okay, then when you get to varsity, you do the same thing. You get to college, and you get to pro. Same sport, but, it took more out of me to get to each one. And having that strong base. And what I've seen for financially, or artists who are making a living, they're living off their art form. There's a certain level of discipline. There's a marketing side of it. So the hardest part is that you have to, we talk about it all the time. You gotta be Diddy and Biggie at the same time. And it's hard for some people to be both. So they gotta find their version of a Diddy. I gotta find me a Diddy to be that thought process. But your art form, at least locally in Southwest Florida, because we are maturing as this thing moves on. We're all maturing as artists and platforms. To create an economy, you have to be able to present enough value that people are willing to pay for it, and that in that transaction you have to be undeniable, especially with art. Because what I mean by that is, it's like, hey man, there's no way you cannot pay me for this. It's too big. There's no way, like you want to, and it's too big. And then from that you get a momentum, and from momentum you can kind of, I wouldn't say, you can be a little more flex with it, but the first time it's just getting it in. So we're gonna create that economy in Southwest Florida. That's what we're gonna do.
I think that's what's missing, and it really, I think the infrastructure lacks, and there's people in places of power, positions like business owners and stuff like that lack imagination and creativity to do it. And I think that I'm kind of tired of seeing outsiders come in and try and do something, and not really like do it for like us, and kind of just do it to make some money or whatever, and like not really put the Southwest Florida style into it. So I look forward to some people in the community getting money and really establishing something bigger. You know, that's why I got the building. That's why I wanted to do this stuff, because I wanted it to be a GCL cultural center. And it's been in the works, you know, a lot of like, it's been 4 years in the making. So like, we have a studio now, so we're here. But eventually, you know, we're gonna have our own space, our own lounge, our own creative areas to do events, rent it out, but really try and create that economy ourselves, you know. And I think that's something that GCL wants to do. We want to help out that way. We're trying to figure it out, you know, we're trying to figure out how to do it. These podcasts is one way, but I'm excited to see some people just get some money, you know, and let's do something.
Yeah, because when it takes off, we all take. Oh my goodness!
Right.
I'm just waiting. This is one of the situations we're just waiting for somebody to take off. Because you know, as soon as the right one takes off, it'll be the 4-minute mile. You ever heard of 4-minute mile? So the 4-minute mile, basically, and we're gonna wrap it up a little bit after this, but the 4-minute mile, they thought it was scientifically impossible to run a mile in 4 minutes. So across the world, scientists, everybody, all the leaders, and then there's one guy, I forgot his name, but this one guy breaks the
Forrest Gump.
What you talking about, Willis? So this one guy breaks the 4-minute mile. He did the impossible. Within 2 weeks to a month, 6 or 7 other people did the same thing. Now you got high schoolers. You had a high schooler like maybe 3 or 4 months later break the 4-minute mile. Now it's becoming somewhat of an average for the elite runners. But the thought process was this was impossible until it became possible. Once it became possible, and that's why representation and that's why determination and discipline is so important, and because it's not that if one of the artists, it's not that if when somebody from this group pops off, it's not that they're gonna literally bring everybody with them, but it's the fact that someone's gonna go, oh, that's how you do it.
Right. Yeah.
And then once that happens,
also get the money down here, because we don't have those big labels or groups or whatever that want to really put money into the scene. You know, and like I think once that influx come in, they'll see that there's talent here. You know, start scouting, then that whole thing will grow up and be more. But
Bianca's gonna be in Times Square with big posters and all of that, and it's gonna have all of those hats on there, and she's gonna be on Good Morning America doing her thing.
Our holster with the honey.
All of it. And I'm like, just mention GCL one time. Just one time.
With the honey.
Just the honey.
Like with the honey, hosted with the honey on Good Morning talking. What's the one with Michael Strahan on it? Good morning. That's Good Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I want you chopping up with Michael Strahan. You understand? I'm talking like my homie B Frank said, "What's up, y'all? What's up?" You understand? He Eagles fan. See him. But yeah, so we know that's gonna be like it's almost undeniable. Like this is becoming an idea, less of an idea, and more of a fact.
Yes.
And so we have like you're killing it too. So like when we think about it, like the progression is so amazing, and when you're in the middle of it, you see it, but you really don't. But you ever have that time when you see a little kid grow up, and you say, "Boy, you got so big," and he don't really see it. His voice will do. I guess I get you. You know what I'm saying? Like, boy, last time I saw you playing Pokemon cards. You still playing Pokemon cards, but you big. And you got a mustache. You got a little, okay. We've all grown so much, and even when we look in the mirror, we still probably just don't recognize how much our work and how much God and this community has done to put us where we are, and the distance, like the distance between us then and us now, and your past self right now is like manifesting you. Like if you could, it's like your older version of you is like, oh my goodness, if only I can get paid some money off my art.
Right.
If only I can be the prime time boss lady on the, or there's a version of you that's like, I could do that, and it was there, and that was here. So at any rate, Southwest Florida, I'd like to say that it's a pleasure to have this discussion with y'all. We're getting close to the end.
Well, before we end it, I want to say something real quick. It just reminded me of a conversation that I had with my fiance. Shout out to beautiful Alondra.
Shout out to Yolanda.
Shout out. We shouting out love, baby.
But I was having a conversation with her because sometimes we tend to feel frustrated. And the fact that I can talk about it with my partner, it makes me realize like, okay, so I'm not the only one. I'm not alone in this, doing this. And then we fulfill the frustration because she has her own projects, just like I have my own projects, and then we have projects together. So it's like levels to that. But we were speaking on the fact that, like for example, she just did her gala. It was a success. We've been planning for it for like half a year.
I saw the picture. Wow, fire.
And it's like we were like we did everything. We stressed, we cried, we everything to make it perfect. And it's like once it was done, we didn't get a time to breathe and really take it in and be like, okay, we just did this.
Yeah.
Because the next day we had a photo shoot with the models, and then just things keep going. So it's like when I realized it's like, yo, sometimes we need a time just to stop and really take in all that we've done. So even when you mention it now, like, 4 years ago where we were at to how we're at now, I'm like, did we really stop to really take it all in? Because sometimes we're so caught up into it and working with our heads down, just keep working, that it takes somebody else to come and be like, yo, I seen your work.
Wow.
I seen you go from here to here. And it takes that person to notice it, so you be like, oh yeah, you're right. It's like you said, the little boy that grew up and now you got a deep voice. I guess my voice did good. It's like, so it takes somebody else for you to see that, how much work you put in, how much you've done that. Because there's a lot of artists that, when we're talking about that, there's a lot of artists that get frustrated and stop because they don't see the expectation that they set out for. Like, I expect my first song to drop and I'll be a millionaire. Right. It doesn't work like that. So they get discouraged, and it's once they see that somebody that's been holding and doing their art for so long. Like, I got friends of mine that still be like, oh, I'm glad to still see you doing what you're doing. And it's like, that's kind of an understatement, because if you see me breathing, I'm going to keep doing my art.
Wow.
As simple as that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you see me breathing, I'm still doing my art. But it's because we've taken the steps to like how to actually make it a business. And you, like Jay-Z said, I'm not just a businessman, I'm a business man. And we have pretty much gotten down to a science to where we make our talent and our passion, make it into something. And that's what fuels the next person. Cause like the one person that wasn't looking at me in the entire crowd was what had my mind going. And it's usually just one person that can come up after one of our shows. Like, everybody tells you, yo, you did great. And it's like, oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And it's that one person that said, hey, man, I can relate to what you said. Yeah. And then they go and they open up to their story and why they relate to that. And it's like, yo, I'm doing something bigger than even me. Something that it's moving the crowds, it's moving the next generation. So, bringing it back to what we were saying, I want to thank you for everything you've done, because you inspire me. Same thing with you. Since the beginnings that I've seen, you have inspired so many people, both of you, and continue to inspire, because representation is key.
Can I say something about that? You gonna get mad? You gonna wrap us up?
No, go for it.
Look, he gonna get mad.
It doesn't matter. I was gonna say something, but he said, go ahead.
Like, I got the best text message. You were talking about representation in the next generation. I got this message of this little girl, and this was literally like maybe last week. This little girl, and she must be like sitting with her grandmother. It's just a voice message, and she's crying in the message, and she's like, "Grandma," and the mom is obviously there too, and she's like, "What you want, Dad?" She's like, braid my hair like the girl on TV. And she's crying because she wants her hair braided like mine. And so, like, you talk about representation and you go through the day-to-day, and you're right. Like, sometimes you have to take the time and reflect, but sometimes there are moments too where you're like, wow, I remember sitting across a table like this asking for permission to wear braids on air, and that is a whole different topic.
Wow.
But this is my normal now. 2 years later, this is the first time an anchor has worn braids on air in this market.
Shout out to that. Yes. Breaking the
so like, I didn't even think about all of that until I got that message, and it brought me to tears. I played it like a bunch of times because I'm like, wow, you go through the day-to-day, how do I get better, you get promoted, but really, like, there's some little girl or somebody who's watching and being like, I want that, I want to be like that, and you're creating a path that I remember thinking it would never be possible to see something like that in Southwest Florida, and I never thought I would be part of that change. You know what I'm saying? So
and you did. You're like, what's that? Am I the hero?
Yeah, it's a weird feeling.
You're like, yo, it's not.
Am I the hero?
Am I the hero? Yep. I was just trying to do a thing, and like, oh snap! I wasn't. You just make up like I'm gonna change the world. You're more like
I was just trying to.
I'm just trying to
I know,
be
but
fresh.
I was trying to not make short hair Shari look crazy on TV anymore. Also, you need real friends. My friend called me and she was like, "Girl, we got to do something about that hair." Shout out to my friend Katrina. It's real. I know y'all laughing because they know it. That's the sad part. They know.
Yeah, I do that to Brian sometimes.
Hey, Brian, we gotta do something about your hair.
Not you. I'm rolling your eyes.
Well, anyway, man, God bless you.
You're lucky I don't have a rag to
Yo, I want to say thank you for everybody for doing this with us, man. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Yo, thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah,
We appreciate you.
The trick now is to put it out there and air it, you know?
So that we're not the musician that has the music,
all the music stuff.
all the music and stories. Like, dang, you got a whole hard drive.
Just say my name. Just say my name, Brian.
Just say my name.
Just say my name.
You got a whole hard drive.
Right, just say my name.
The musician that has the nerve to, I don't know any specific musician, but hey, listen to the song. And when you're around them and they're playing their music, you go, yeah, I haven't heard this music before. Where is this at? Oh, I just got it.
You know what?
I'm gonna release it for
We're
a
gonna
project.
show the people. I know you
Come
guys can see where it
That's too
says
much.
Ariel V.
Those,
Yeah, look,
those are
look.
all unreleased.
Drop
Yo,
that.
You
look,
probably got the
Look,
same thing.
look,
Wow.
It keeps going. It keeps going, y'all.
Wow.
That music, he has so
Keep
much
going.
music that
Keep
he
going.
probably got world events he's talking about in those songs that might come back around and sound like he's like Nostradamus. He's like, yeah, man.
Music is timeless.
The president,
Classic.
he's gonna be like, yeah, the president fell off a bike, and then it's gonna be like
record my skip.
skip.
Oh
I told ya.
It's gonna be not president 40. It's not that president, but this president. Like, yo,
That's Chappelle making fun of
Chappelle
Tupac, bro. Tupac so in the future.
Not that Bush, but the other one. Right? But at any rate, all jokes aside though, so we wanna we have to be what we request out of other people. So I'm telling artists to promote and put their music out. We gotta put these podcasts out. So if you're watching this, you're gonna be thinking, wow, they really did it. Thank you. All you guys are my accountability partners.
Yeah.
Because it took a lot to get to this point. With that being said, can we give a round of applause for our sound engineer real quick? The guy
Sound engineer, baby.
All right, guys. So, is there any last words, Bianca? JustBee?
No, thank you for having me.
Where can they find you,
And
Bianca?
find me at Bianca J Russell, BIANCAJRUSSELL, or justbee.xyz.
I love it, B.
Yeah.
You can find me at Shari Armstrong TV on Instagram or on Facebook. It's Shari Armstrong. It's the one with the blue check mark.
Yeah.
Certified.
And what time can they see you
Oh yeah, right.
on air?
See, that's why you need your people to hype you up, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a news anchor. Catch me at 5 p.m. on Fox 4 News at 5.
Chicken. All right, so my name is B. Frank. Once again, this is my man M. Marco. This is my man Ariel V. And this is the GCL podcast. We are blessed to have you, blessed to be talking to you. Be easy, be safe, and be blessed. Peace.
Peace.